All right, problem 3. Problem 3, you're definitely going to want to pull up that PDF file, that PowerPoint that shows you how to draw it, so that you can follow it step by step, because you do need to go step by step. We're drawing the smiley face, and here's our instructions. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to pull the screen over to the right-hand side so I can have it open full screen while I'm working. So again, everything that I'm getting is coming from that PowerPoint. And again, you have to open your AutoCAD, you have to download the start file, you have to do all that. All right, first thing we want to do is we want to make sure that dynamic input is turned off. So if I just go draw the line, I'm just going to pick the line tool and pick a starting point. And as long as I don't have that floating box, dynamic input is off. You do not want dynamic input on while you're doing this assignment. So floating box, bad. Hit F12 so it goes away, because otherwise the assignment's not going to work properly when you go to do things. So we want dynamic input off. If you get into a command that you don't want to get into, you just hit the escape key to get out of it, okay? And escape, enter, spacebar. These are a lot of the ones that we use a lot when we're working in AutoCAD. Again, I'm going to do my O-snap just to be safe. Make sure it's on select all. You can also do what's called a save time. And if you're worried about saving your work, you can set your save time to every 10 minutes. So you can open up a file and do a save as, make sure it's going where it's supposed to go, and type in 10, 5, 20, whatever. And every 10 minutes it's going to save that file. That's just a very useful tool when you're working on something and you want to take a chance, not take a chance of losing it if you lose electricity. I used to have that problem in a company I worked for. We never knew we were going to lose electricity, and you could be working for like 3 to 4 hours in this AutoCAD problem, and then electricity goes, and yeah, not a good thing. So you learn to use that save time tool, because it can help you quite a bit. All right, the first thing we want to do is make object layers current. So simply clicking on the layer right here. And make sure it's on object. It could be on hidden, dimension. There's different ones that it could be on. Make sure it's on object layer. Make sure dynamic input's off, and we're going to draw a circle. The instructions say that you can hit C, enter, 22, enter, etc. forth. So if I'm over here, C, enter, 22, 20, enter, 9, enter. You can also go to circle, etc. and do it, but just do the C, enter. It's just showing you the DOS command, and then make sure it looks like that. Now we want to draw an arc. So we got our lovely little arc tool. Or you could type in A, enter, both work. 17, 19, 19, 16, 22, 15, enter. So there's my part of my smile. I'm going to change this back to radius, and now I'm going to draw me a circle again. 17, 21, 2. Now I'm going to draw a line. And you can pick on the draw tool here. You can also just type in L enter. A lot of times I'll do the L enter because that 2-key entry is quicker for me than going and picking with the mouse a lot of times. There's always more than one way of doing something in AutoCAD. Twice. Next, we're going to trim. So under the modify button, here's your trim. So we're looking for this. Trim and extend. I'm going to do the trim. And you can put a window and select everything, so you can go through this process and hit enter and then click here and it gets rid of it. What I like to do is I like to use my shortcut keys, so I will go to trim and I'll hit spacebar, and that's like a select all, and then I just have to click once and it's gone. Now I want to erase this line. A couple ways to erasing the line. You can go to the eraser tool here, select the line that needs to go away, eraser, select, enter, that'll erase it. Or you can select the line like that, hit delete on your keyboard, that erases it also. So there's more than one way to erase. Next, we want to mirror. So we want to make a perfect copy of this part of the cheek on the opposite side here. So we're going to mirror it. So if you've got something drawn and it's perfectly symmetrical and you know where it needs to go, if you mirror it, you can mirror it on the mirror line, which is the line going down the middle or going at an angle if you pick it, and it will make a perfect copy of what's on that left-hand side or right-hand side and put it on the other side. Again, it's under modify, mirror. Use my mouse to grab both. Once I have them selected, I hit enter. Oops. When that happens, just undo. Or you can literally type in oops too. Mirror, select everything, enter. The bottom part here, the middle part. Notice how those little things pop up, and then I hit the enter key. Done. There you go. Perfect copy. We didn't have to go through all those steps to draw it again. We're going to draw another circle. 2024, 1. If it doesn't draw, click on it again, or type in the C again and give it a try. So there's one eyeball. I still need an eyeball and a nose, so I'm going to copy. So I'm going to come up here again. I'm going to find my copy. There's my copy. Click on the circle and hit enter. Then it asks for your base point. So we want to use the center of the eye as our base point. That's like, where's your starting point? What's your point of reference? And 22, 19, 24, 24. If it does something silly, just undo, oops it, try again. Pick the object, hit enter, and then try again. There we go. So we have that. Next, we're going to do a multiline. A multiline draws two lines at the same time at a specific angle or distance apart, depending on what you set it at. We're going to set it to a specific scale, so it's a specific measurement apart from each other. This used to be really, really useful when we were doing Auto CAD and we were doing it as architecture. Before we had more of the parametrics programs like Revit and Chief Architect. It was very useful back then because then you didn't have to draw two sets of lines. You could draw them all at once. And so I could know what the size of my walls were and I could draw it that way. That's primarily where the multi-line tool comes in. Or if I'm doing electrical and I know I need to have two lines that are running specifically and I want them perfectly parallel to each other going through, that's where that comes in. So I literally just come in and type in ML. That stands for multi-line, enter. Then I type in S for scale, because you could justification style, there's different things you could change, you can move it around. We're going to do scale, and I want it exactly 1 increment apart, and then I want it starting at 11.8, comma, and then 11, comma, 31, enter key, enter key. If you don't hit that enter key twice, it's going to keep drawing, and then you're going to have a funky looking thing going around. I repeat my process, ML enter, scale enter, 1 enter, because I want to make sure it's doing what I want, 10, 31, 34, 31. And that's definitely not right. So I just click on it. Now let's try it again. ML enter, S enter, 1 enter, 10, 31, 34, 31. There we go. So we have our two perfect lines. Now if you click on them right now, see how they're solid? I want you to see what happens if I try to offset these right now. So I'm going to hit on offset, and I'm going to just tell it 2. So I want to offset it 2 increments. When you do an offset, it makes a perfect copy of whatever you select to offset that much bigger or that distance away. So if I click on this, come here, and I try to do it, normally it'll put something on the outside. So if I do the eyeball, for example, let's see if it'll do it. See? It does a perfect raccoon or smile. Oh, that's a really interesting smiley face. But that's what it does. So I need to explode. When I explode, I'm taking these from multi-lines back down to regular lines. Now if I go to offset and I tell my distance 21, that line over, the other line over, this line down, this line down. It's kind of like a picture frame. And then I'm going to use my trim again, space bar, outside pieces, inside pieces. I'm purposely going to do this one backwards because I want to show you what happens. Because if I click here, I can't trim it. The reason you can't trim it is because it's its own little piece. And you should be able to go like that. Yeah, you see you can, to make it go away. So you don't have to pick, so you can get there. So if you accidentally trim in the wrong order, that's fine. Trim everything you need to do, hit the enter key to finish it out, then delete what you need to go away. There it goes. Change your name, change your class, change the date. Always save as, do not ever save, always do a save as, and make sure it's going to your folder. Always make sure that you go to my computer, make sure you find your U drive, put it in your folder, here's my folder for it, and you save it. After you save it, you need to either export it or print it as a PDF and then submit the PDF to Moodle for grading. Okay? Alright, congratulations, you just completed problem 3.